So, Emil Meek, welcome to the most traditional American diner I could find.
Yeah. Blackberry Diner.
Yeah.
It's kind of great.
So, we're in Las Vegas. For those that don't know, how long have you been here?
I've been travel just as I got the fight. I think it was June 6th. So I've been here for, what is that, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
4 weeks, 5 weeks?
Was that because you wanted to use the PI?
Yeah, like basically, the last time I was here, I felt like I was getting a lot of improvements in my game. I felt like it was both like coaches, but also training partners, sparring partners. I could tailor it the way I wanted it to be, the way I feel like professional fighters should train.
Right.
So that's why I wanted to go over here. And even though the fight's in Europe with the time difference and everything, I wanted to go over here because I felt like this is the place I will get the best training and the best prescriptions for a victory.
Is that something you feel like you're missing in Europe? Like it's just the levels are too different, or is it you wanted to just try it? Or
last time, like I had it's going to be a long story, but
go for it.
In 2015, I was I was on the verge. I was what, like 5-1, 4-1, something like that. A lot of TKOs, like everything was going good, and then I had a year of injury, came back. I had a no contest, like loss, no contest. I had a loss, and then for me it was like, okay, either you're gonna get this done, you're gonna win the next one and improve that you belong in the top and belong in a shot at the UFC, you belong everything. And then I took a chance of moving down to Oslo, where I train out of now, from my home gym in Trondheim, where I've been for 5 years. So I went down. My game improved. I got a lot better for this one camp, and then I won. And then I won my next fight, and I won the next one after that. And then I just said to myself and said to my friends and everything I have back home up in Trondheim. We got my own gym together with Thomas Formo, and you know we have a lot of things going on there. But I just said like, okay, there's only one way I'm gonna reach my potential, reach my goal, and that is to move to somewhere where I can get better coaching and better sparring partners. And that what I did. And then I beat Polaris, and then I beat Jordan Mean, and now I feel like it's a new. Well, it's the same situation all over again. Now it's 2 years since I got my hand rest in the cage, where I fought Jordan Mean in the UFC and I won. I fought Kamaru Usman in the beginning of this year, but I didn't win. So now I feel like it's the same again. I really need this to win, and I want to sacrifice everything I have to get that done. And even though like I don't have all my friends there and all that stuff, I think it's a natural move for me to at least do maybe part-time, like 50% of my time here in Vegas, training as a PI, training with great people, and do most of my camps there. And but I also want to stay in touch with my roots and start with the people I care about. But it feels like a natural move to go over to Vegas. It's you know how it is. Here it is professional. Here it is considered a sport where you get professional, 100% full-time coaches. You got training partners that is as devoted to this as you.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things that will make this place a better place to be.
I definitely have noticed that. Like so in England or the rest of Europe, you still get people saying, oh, they talk about MMA and the UFC is the same thing. Yeah. But in Vegas, all the locals seem to. It's like this city sport almost. Yeah. So yeah, I can imagine it being way more professional.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the Usman fight. Like, how hard has it been since then? I mean, because it must have been a rough one to take, and like say 2 years now.
Yeah. You know, it's. Don't know where to start, but like right after the fight, I felt like I went in there and I didn't do as much as I could have.
Yeah.
I felt like I was going out of it. I wasn't that. Of course, I was tired, but I wasn't that winded. I wasn't that exhausted.
Yeah.
And then when you go out of a fight like that, where you're just like kind of being pinned down and held down, like in a boring fashion. Like you don't feel like you put your heart in there.
Yeah.
it's always a bit extra rough because it feels like you failed for some reason. But other than that, like I said, I felt like I did a lot of step ups and improved my game a lot. I was in there with one of probably the best or the second best wrestler in the UFC at the time, and now. So and I felt like I did a lot better than most of the other guys he fought, like better than Maya, better than Sean Strickland, better than whoever guy he knocked out recently, and you know.
So can you take confidence from that?
Yeah, absolutely I can do that, but as a fighter, as prize fighter, as me personally, my goal was to beat that guy, and that was to beat him for 3 months. Like that was the only thing I was thinking about for 3 months. And when suddenly, like, so that was my reality, you know. I thought of it so much that was my reality. I was going to beat him, and then the next day you wake up and then, oh shit, I actually did lose this, and it's kind of weird.
I've always actually wondered about that, because so the example I always have in my head is Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. For weeks Conor was telling Dustin, I'm going to knock you out in the first round, and everything, like you say, Dustin's reality is no, you're not. So when it happens, when your reality suddenly changes, it must be like what the fuck just happened?
It's very, and it's very difficult to comprehend, because you can always picture things and how it's gonna, like how okay, if I lose this, what's gonna happen, back on the horse, all that shit. But then, like for me, I get like the first few weeks I'm okay, and then suddenly I get this like downfall, which is like everything is quiet because there's been so much noise about your fight, about your like interviews, and then you lose, and it's a lot more quiet than when if you win. And then it like just go down a downfall, and then like, okay, I should enjoy myself, I should take some time off, I should do this and should do that, you know. So you eat shit and you maybe go to a party or
Sounds like breaking up with a woman.
Yeah, it's basically the same. So you know, you go to some party and then you maybe do some more partying, and then you should stop, and then I'm just like fucking it up even more, and then I hit rock bottom, then I just bounce up again, and then I'm good. Like so
is that a recurring thing, or is it just with this fight in particular? Like with this one?
It's been with this fight. I had like similar experiences like earlier, especially with it's kind of weird because especially with the attention drop. It feels like somebody is switching off the lights.
Really?
You know, because the last since you get the fight, you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of media, like everybody's asking you, oh, you ready for this fight, you ready for that, how are you gonna do, and then a lot of interviews coming up, and then you have the fight week where you are basically a rock star for 7 days, which is awesome. That's like that's like so much fun, like just like for me personally, I really love that, like to be able to bring my friends and like experience like being treated really good, and like everybody's local, come up with like people print pictures of you, you sign it, you know, they stoked as hell, and it's really fun. And then if you win, then you like shoot through the roof, you know. And then when you lose, it feels like somebody's flipping the switch.
Is there a sense of bitterness that comes with that towards the media? Like, well, last week, the phone wouldn't stop, or do you just sort of take it as the game?
Well, I think it's a healthy thing to be aware of it. Not be. It's a healthy thing to be aware of it and not get too down when it actually happens. Because everybody loves a winner. And I don't blame them. It's the way it is. And if you don't have a personal relation with me, or if you haven't spoken to me personally, I get it that you want to be on the train that's going the fastest, you know. But it's just important, I think, for all fighters, for both like champions and both like newcomers, that when you do good, people are gonna love you, and when you don't do good, you know, then you realize what people actually care about.
I commend you for coming to Vegas after going on a bit of a party, by the way, and being able to stop partying, because not everyone can do that.
I know.
Trust me, this World Cup is killing me. So yeah, speaking of the media drop in attention, let's look at the flip side. Before your fight with Usman, I think you're considered one of the personalities in your division.
Yeah.
You know, you're a bit unique. You know, all this sort of stuff. And then you look around your division. You got Covington, Till. Like, it's a pretty, as far as it goes, it's pretty like. There's a lot of potential stars in that division. Do you look at that defeat and go, shit, like I could have been up there with Covington and Till by now, or do you think you needed to grow first?
No, you know, I felt like that was a shot that I've been working for a long time. You know, like first we had, you always have like layers of shit, but this was like to break the top 10.
Yeah.
That was my like that was my next stone, and that would be like when you separate yourself from being a UFC fighter, which is cool, which means that you're one of the best fighters in the fucking world, which is great. Like there's 40 other people in my weight class in the world, so you're like one of the best. Like you're one of 40 people in the entire world. That's really cool and that's really good. But to be able to like break that top 10 and be like one of the like best of the best, that's just like the what's it called, like the difference between being a kind of a legend and just did really good. I did really good. I'm happy with what I done, but I really want that next step. Like I want to be that fucking like being the top guy that was up there like fighting with Cerrone and fighting with like, you know, with all the legends that's been, because that's what the people who I really looked up to.
Do you look at like Cormier then, winning the 2 belts, and you're just like, that is it?
Yeah, well, that is great. I know I'm never gonna do it. I know you're gonna go.
That's very candid. That's like a pretty candid answer.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that?
I just feel like, well, you know, when you're there and you get immediate title shot, then it's easier.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people that would beat Cormier. Like if you put them with Ngannou, or if you put them with Alice or Overeem, like people like that, I think will just like crush him because. Yeah, well, the speed and accuracy and the power and the size, of course. But like Stipe is like, he's not like huge. He's huge, but he's not like he's not like deceptive. Like he's not that. It's not a very big difference from Cormier. Like he's a little bigger, a little taller. He doesn't like 0.5 in like Jones do or whatever. So I think there's a lot of people that could beat him in the heavyweight division. I think that was a great matchup for
really?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely, because both of them are older, elderly. But I don't know, like they're not young.
Okay.
They're not young in this sport anymore. So I think that was like that was probably one of the better fights for Daniel Cormier.
So if you don't look at like, I want to become a double champion, do you then look at, like, I'm just interested now because you never really hear fighters being that sort of honest. Like, do you then look at people like Justin Gaethje, like, well, if I can't win the belt, I can at least be one of these legends that everyone's like, oh shit, he's on the card? Or do you think he actually gets, maybe his fight style is too far the other way?
You know, I just really want to do good, and I want to do the best I can do.
Okay.
So if I manage to like fight my way to the top and go for the belt and get the belt, then fuck yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yes.
I really just want to be like, my next step now is just to like get into the mix and being able to like fight like legendary battles with a lot of people. That's what I want to do. That's what I think is fun. Like I don't want to sit on the sideline waiting for big fights and whatever. I want to like be in the mix and throw hands with like the best, like Robbie Lawler.
The best thing about your division is like everyone, like Perry, Felder, maybe Felder now, but like those are people you can get. Cerrone as well. Like, I can understand why that would be exciting. So, do you look at this fight as like, obviously, there's a bit of a significant like jump in attention from this one. So, do you just think like, all right, well, I'll show you, I'll get the W, and then we'll get back up like this?
Yeah, that's basically mission. Like I asked the UFC, like I kind of want to get back to my roots, get my friends over from Europe, and like be that core. It creates so much energy, you know. Like if
you're like one of the biggest Norwegian fighters probably ever.
Except Joachim Hansen and. You know.
I think for the younger audience, I think still.
Of course, like right now.
Your entrance came, like you came in with a bang, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's true. But I always like try to pay respect for the people who came here before me and like gave me the opportunity to teach, to learn all the stuff that we have learned over the years. But right now, like media-wise, I am like absolutely the biggest in Norway. Yeah. But yeah, I just like the Hamburg shit. I just like, hey, I wanna fight there, and they offered me a fight, and then I said yes.
So it didn't matter who it was at that point?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, just get back in there.
Yeah.
So is it just, are you going to try and, because this sport's basically entirely about momentum, really, are you just going to try and get this one done, good, impressive finish, and then try and get back in there soon, or are you still working, like, I got to get skills, or?
I always want to, like, if my body allows it, I want to keep going. I also want to be, like, since this is my life now, I also want to be able to live.
Makes sense. It's not cheap coming to Vegas for 5 weeks. Yeah.
It is not, and I think I'll do like a small short vacation with my girlfriend and some friends, and then get back into it like after it, just as soon as possible. But like fuck. We just need to go like build momentum and get going, and that's the most important thing.
I think there's something in being a European fighter that's really recognisable, that sort of gives you a niche. You know, like Till's. I think it's fair to say that he got this push because he's got Liverpool thing, and I think you could have that too, like the Viking stuff, and I think it's an option now. Will you keep coming back to Vegas? Is that your future now, like 50-50, or? Yeah,
I'll try to. We haven't really sorted it out yet, but I think that's what I want to do right now. I want to be in Norway in the summer, and I want to go up here in the winter.
Do you think other fighters will start following the suit? Like the PI is there. Do you think that other fighters are going to start going and think like, oh, I should move to Vegas? Is it as good as they say, basically?
It is really good. The PI is just a facility, though.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so it's important to understand that fact that the UFC PI is a facility where you get great follow-up in the strength and conditioning part, and the physio, like PT, I don't know what you call it, but physiotherapy, follow-up, and like, I was gonna say is, you know, you're close to the headquarters. It's a good thing. Yeah. You got great food. You got like probably the nicest gym in the world at the time for yourself. Like you got full-size cage. You got a lot of good shit. Yeah. But you don't have any training partners. You don't have any coaches except strength and conditioning. So you have to sort of bring your own team or get someone to work with from Vegas. Which is a lot of guys, which is really good.
So is that what you've done? You've chosen guys around Vegas to come out?
Yeah, so my team is basically, right now, I train at the UFC PI, and I train at Extreme Couture.
Okay.
I train striking with Dewey Cooper, and then I pick my training partners depending on who I'm fighting. Yeah. Like right now I'm fighting a wrestler, so now I'm picking a lot of wrestlers to come and fight with me in the cage at the PI. Yeah. So you get a full-size cage for yourself. You know, you're not on the mats with 30 other people that you're gonna share with. You run into not have a cage or whatever. So there's like it's small adjustments that can I think in the long run will give you a big advantage because when you're fighting in a cage. Yeah. And with nobody else in it. So if you can do that most of the time you're sparring, you will have an advantage. Yeah. I feel.
Yeah. So that's the. Do you think other people, because I know that they sort of touted Francis Ngannou as like the first PI guy when he fought Miocic. Do you think his problem was that he didn't have like a full sort of team around him as well? Because I know that I don't know if that was the case, but they basically sort of...
For this fight or for the Stipe
last
fight?
One, the Stipe fight. Yeah. I mean, for this fight, I don't know. He was at his syndicate, but I don't know what happened there. That was kind of he even admitted today on Instagram that he was scared.
He was scared?
Yeah. But I thought it was, again.
I felt like maybe he just like was terrified of losing.
I thought he just really wanted to counter. I thought like, and I think there was an element of both of them were like, this guy, like they didn't want to lose to each other. Yeah. I know Derek had a bad back and stuff, but Francis, I thought he was waiting for the counter. But you think like round 3 comes, they're telling you you've lost 2 rounds, like you got to.
yeah.
Where were you, like the guy from the first round of the Stipe fight does damage then, you know? It was confusing to me.
Well, I think maybe if your mind locks on surviving instead of winning, that's maybe how a fight looks.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel like you're taking a lot of damage. You don't feel like you're losing.
Yeah.
Except you're losing
because the other guy threw three punches basically. Yeah.
So I think something like that. But
how do you get over that as a fighter though? Because like he said on his Instagram post, like, and not to like just shit on Francis or anything, but he said, you know, I took the fear from my last fight into this fight. Yeah. It's pretty tough to snap that, no?
Yeah, very. Well, I think it's like it's funny because. I'm not saying I had a similar experience this camp, but
especially against another wrestler as well.
Yeah, but what can I say? I got here. I wasn't in the greatest shape of my life when I started this camp.
Right.
Like usually I'm in pretty good shape when I enter fight camp, but sometimes I had a lot of injuries. I had some knee shit, so I had as they called me, I had my knee in a casket. So like they called me up, I had it in a casket like for the last day. I was like, well, I was taking it off today, so what the fuck not? And it's not every fight that's gonna be perfect, you know. So when I got there, I had a lot of troubles, I had a lot of pain. I wanted to do things right.
Yeah.
So for the first weeks, I wasn't really like managing to pull the trigger. I was just in there doing the moves. I didn't try to do everything right. But then I was talking to my friend and we were just like discussing why the fuck like things didn't work. And I was just like, well, fuck. You just have to think like that. You just figure like, if I just think like, fuck it, I'm just gonna fight.
Yeah.
And then the next sparring was the greatest sparring.
Really?
So for me personally, it's like, okay, fuck it. Like if I get taken down, what the hell? Like I have to just pop back up again. Like I can't be scared of getting taken down. I can't get scared of getting punched. If you get punched, you get punched.
Yeah.
And then that's how I kind of broke out of it. But for Nagano, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. But it can't be easy.
It's not easy.
Especially if you're fighting similar sort of. I mean, Usman is an amazing wrestler and stuff. So
yeah.
Have you been training a lot on that then this camp?
The wrestling? Yeah, more than last time. but the thing was that I didn't feel like my last camp. I didn't feel like I was. My wrestling wasn't bad at all. I stopped like all of the initial shots. I got up like a million times. The reason he got 19 takedowns in that fight was because I got up 19 times. Yeah. You know, if he had 3 takedowns, I would be worried because then I'd be on my back. So you know, it can like if you look at the highlight and you see me get thrown like 19 times, that's because I got up 18 of them. You know.
That's got to give you some confidence as well, because you mentioned his caliber. Like you can say to yourself like, well, dude, if I can get up from you, I can get up from this guy.
That's true. That's also what I tried to think about this fight. But so basically, I didn't feel like my wrestling was shit, but I've been working on it, of course. Like this is. The top guys now is with Colby, Tyrone, and Usman. Like they're fucking wrestlers. So my wrestling has to be on point no matter what.
What do you think of Colby and his stuff?
I don't know. I really wanted to see him lose.
Which I think is half that's why he does it, right?
Yeah, but his fighting been like he fought really good against a really dangerous guy in Rafael Sultanius. He you know, I respect that. I respect his fighting for sure. Like his media shit is for me is kind of boring and just stupid. He doesn't have the. You can see he's trying really hard.
I think that's fair. Like I think.
Yeah, and I don't think any of it really got him the title thing, you know.
I think the Maya fight, man. The Maya fight opened a lot of people's eyes to him.
Yeah, but that's a fight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I agree.
So, you know.
Who do you think wins, him or Tyrone?
Oh, I hope Tyrone is gonna win. Like I ran into Tyrone on the other day at the PI.
Yeah.
Damn, he's so huge. Like he's shorter than me.
Yeah.
But like his arm is like twice my size, and like and his ass is just huge. And, like everything is just.
Is that surreal? Like, I might fight you one day, and you're like.
He's huge and he's short.
Yeah.
So I fought bodybuilders before, but yeah, of course, like he's fucking talented.
Yeah.
But
I was actually going to ask, at the PI, like, is it? I don't think you have any like crazy rivalries in the UFC or anything, but is it a bit weird bumping into other guys? Like, oh,
I'm stealing your water.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you. Neck and coffee anyway. But is it a bit weird bumping into people like Tyron and being like, oh, this is all good, or
like most of the time it's just cool. People like if you, well, how can I put it? Like fighters kind of recognize fighters. We just like we know that everybody has different reason to do it, and we know that everybody goes through the same shit.
Yeah.
So we kind of respect each other just because of that, and there's like. And it's
I heard Chiesa and Kevin Lee were like at each other all the time. Yeah, I think apparently they're having arguments in the bathroom and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do. That's true. But that's funny. Chiesa is maybe a loose cannon. Like we got some cannons there. But you know, I'm a nice guy, and I don't think I'm gonna run into any trouble. But just the fact, like that we are, like I said, like one of the very, very few in this world that are signed with the UFC. That like everybody done special shit to get there. Everybody has their own story. Everybody believe in themselves, and then we have like this, a respect, like what's it called?
Camaraderie.
Yeah, kind of. Like we just have a respect for each other.
Nailed it. It's ruined it.
No, it wasn't right that. But my English is not that good. So, but I think we just respect each other on that reason. And it was funny. Like I never ever met Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Gaethje. Yeah. Justin Gaethje. Never ever met him. I just see his fights.
Yeah.
And then my coach brought him in for wrestling.
Yeah.
And did you know he got tremendous fucking wrestling? Like
he started out as wrestling.
Yeah, but he's great. Like he's great, and in every other sport or business or whatever, like he came in and he was just like, okay, this is good, this is great. I'm gonna teach you all my fucking secrets. The first time we encountered each other, like we barely shake hands, like saying hi to him, and he just shares from his heart, like this is my technique. This is what I do. This is really good.
Yeah.
And in any other businesses, would you do that?
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
Like if you were talking to MMA junkie or MMA fighter, like none of you guys would be like,
here's so-and-so's number, by the way.
Yeah. Here's all the connections you need. Here's how you have to put up your case. Here's this and this. Like you would never do that. No business ever except
not
fighting.
to that level. No. But I think similar to fighters, I think we got like the media have like a understanding of like, this is what we go through. This is the life. So I can sort of relate to that.
Yeah.
Not on the same level, but you know what I mean. So fight's not long away. Like how you feeling? Like. A couple of weeks out.
I feel good. I feel like I've done the necessary work. Mm-hmm. I feel like weight and all physical and shit is good. And now it's been kind of a weird fight camp for me because I ran into this, like it's not short notice or anything, but just starting in a worse shape that I'm used to.
Yeah.
And like getting on the horse again in the first few weeks. But I also put myself with the wolf. I tried to get the worst sparring partners, the worst wrestlers, the worst. Yeah. So to really like be prepared for this when this shit happens.
Did you come in bad shape because of the injuries or because of the
because of the injuries. Okay. Because of the injuries. So it's been like kind of an off camp for me. But now everything is like the last week and the week before that it's been really good.
Yeah.
So like everything is coming together. My new wrestling shit is coming together, and I just feel good again.
Is it a bit like? It sounds like a really weird analogy, but like when you first start to ride a bicycle, you're just dog shit, and then eventually like, what's more like driving a car, and then you like, suddenly you're doing it automatically. Is that the same sort of thing? Like it starts coming together at the end?
Well, no, luckily it's better than that.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like if you.
This thing doesn't take points.
Like I'm good at fighting.
Yeah.
I've done this for 9.5 years now, almost 10 years, and I'm kind of proud of that because the only thing I did more longer than that is elementary school.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So the first 10 years of school, that's what I did. Actually, I only did 9 years of that. So this is the longest thing I ever done anything. So I think for me that's a proud achievement because I never devoted so much of my life into anything except that. So I'm good at it. If you throw me in a cage, no matter how good shape I am in, I'm gonna be good. I can fight.
Yeah.
But for training it's different because training and fighting is two different things.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a special gift that to do better under pressure than I do in training and sparring because it's more important for me. I like my heart awakens, my like everything that I work for. It's like okay, if I don't do this. I can't forgive myself for losing.
Yeah.
And for the people who's there and for the people who's like devoted their time to me, and like that's the biggest gift you can give anyone. That's your time. Because like money and all that shit, that's just money and that's just material shit. But the biggest thing you can give someone is your time. And like there been so many people that showed up, sparring, training me, coaching me. All that shit, and I really don't want to lose for me and for the people who giving me their time. And when like lights hit you and you're ready to fight, I'm gonna fight good, no matter what, like how good shape I am.
You talk about the pressure, but is that also where you get the buzz from as well? Like I can see you getting animated talking about it.
Yeah, fuck, I love it. I have no other way to put it. Like the thing is, like no matter what you do, you kind of get used to it. So now, this has also been like I said, it's been a little strange camp for me because I'm so used to it now. Like it's been so many years. I've done it so many times. I had 19 fights or something like that, 19 run-ups for this, and with the weight cutting and all that. So I'm so used to it now. And it's before I was more like, how did I eat all my calories? Did I sleep 8 hours? Did I because I had forms for everything, and now I'm just kind of flowing with it because I've done it so many times. So now the only thing I'm looking forward to now is fucking like going out there and fight. And it's funny how your perspective of that changes because I remember when I was starting to fight, starting to train and starting to fight, and I was talking to people who has done this for a long time, professional fighters. I was amateur still, professional fighters who were like, I quit drinking like 4 weeks out. I'm like, 4 weeks? I have been drinking all year. Like I had 6 years of sobriety. 6 years of sobriety. I'm like, what the fuck? 6 weeks before you fight? And I could not understand that. Like, don't you want this? And but they train and now that I'm getting older, now I'm fucking getting used to all this. Like I realized that you actually have to have a life. Not just
sobriety is a tough ask, man.
Yeah, it is. It is, especially for you guys.
Oh, thanks very much.